Here are 5 newsletter content must-haves that you need to know. Okay, number one. Number one is that you need to get personal with your emails. I like to share like my love of coffee, what's going on with my dog, or things like that you can really just give them a little glimpse into your personal life. Because we are more than just an author or entrepreneur, business owner, whatever it is that you do. And it's kind of cool to see behind the scenes. I know personally that as a reader of many newsletters, I subscribe to them all. I'm like a serial subscriber and I read them all. I really enjoy like the little behind the scenes, footage or pictures or little stories that they offer us in the newsletter. So I definitely recommend that for you. And that is why that one is my number one content must have. You can also use that as a spot where you could tell them about, new opportunities that have come to you, or your music playlist, pretty much anything that you could think. Work life, even if you're trying to keep it strictly about your job or your product or whatever, you can still provide some behind the scenes glimpses, and they really will appreciate that. Remember, you're basically talking to your ideal customer. And whenever you're doing that, just, think of them when you're writing it and be like, hey, so-and-so, okay, so this week I've been really busy, working behind the scenes on this project. And, here's a picture of my messy work zone. And people really just eat that up. So, okay, number 2. This is more along the lines of scheduling, but it goes along with content as well. So, you want to make sure that you stay regular. So basically you need to be setting up a schedule for your newsletter and deciding how many times that you want to send it out. Don't be a freak and send it out like 10 times a day. Nobody likes that. But also don't be, a ghost and only pop up to tell us when you have something new, or, just randomly out of the blue, like, hey, it's Christmas, people like to hear from you regularly. And not only is it good for you to continue to do this, it's actually good practice, and your newsletters will get better as you continue to, give them regular content. Your subscribers will begin to, anticipate your content and kind of know when to look for it coming in their email box. So this is really good. It helps them look forward to something, and it helps you stay on schedule, and helps you be accountable. So definitely set aside a couple times per month or however you want to set it up, and make sure that you are scheduling your stuff and putting it out there regularly. Okay, number 3, get to showing off your old stuff. Super important. I mean, it's just sitting out there just being old. Let's bring new life to it. The 15th of the month, I do what is called my backlist spotlight. And this is because I'm an author, and I will choose one of my really, really old books, or maybe, one that's, 5 years old, 3 years old, something that's just not a new release in the last year or two. And I devote the entire newsletter to spotlighting this book. I will give them little snippets about it. I will show different pictures, like maybe if there's a hardback, I'll show a picture of the hardback. If there's a paperback, if there's an audiobook, I'll talk about that, show a little picture of that. Sometimes I open it up and show the formatting, or I'll show the dedication. I'll throw in teasers. Basically, in my writing process on that particular book and how it, came to be, I basically try to give that book the entire attention for that email. And it's always fun taking a trip down memory lane. And I just think it's cool, and it's a good way to showcase something that you have that's a little bit older in like a special way. So another thing about showcasing your old books that's really cool is you will begin to see a spike on sales of these older books. So, I mean, for me, I started doing this back in January, doing these author spotlights, and suddenly, a book that was, 7 years old or whatever it was, would be the biggest seller that day or the next day. And that was coming directly from my people, my subscribers, not social media, not the algorithms out in, Amazon land, not anything. except for my newsletter that I worked hard to cultivate. And, these were my people. They're subscribed because they like me. They want to know about me. They're interested in me. And obviously they want to buy from me. So just keep that in mind when you're showing stuff. A lot of times it's easy to think like, oh, it's old. They're not going to care about that. They only want the new things. Or, they probably have all of the old things. Well, that's not true. I mean, you could have literally just got a new subscriber last week, and all they did was saw you on a TikTok and thought, oh, she seems nice. I'm going to go get on her newsletter list and see what she has to say. So maybe that old book that all your other subscribers had read, this person hasn't read. And so now you've got, somebody going, ooh, wow, I just read this newsletter and it was very entertaining and I would like to read that book or try out this product or whatever. So definitely worth the effort because I have seen the proof in the income for it. So definitely recommend you do that. Okay, number 4. This brings us to another thing that I like to do in my newsletters, and that is to get them to your links. Okay, so not just your buy links, but say perhaps you have an awesome TikTok that you did that you wanted to share. This is a great opportunity to do a little screen grab and say, this TikTok went viral. Can you believe it? Or me and my kid did this TikTok. Isn't it hilarious? Or, have you seen the super hot TikTok that I did with the page flip or whatever? And then, also if you've written a blog post, you could say, here's a little snippet of something and then click on over here to my website to read the full article. You would be surprised how many people are interested in just more of what you have to say. And I have people click over to my news or my blog all the time. So it's definitely super important that you get in there and, give them other links to things. It's not just, about like, hey, this is my new book, buy it, or this is my new product, buy it. It's like, I also do this. I also do this. Let me tell you how proud I am about this. In my last newsletter, I was chosen to do this thing called She is Tulsa, and it's like this art exhibit with this photographer, and it was really cool to like share that with my subscribers, and I can see the analytics, and a lot of people clicked on it to go check it out, and several people messaged me and they were like, wow, that's so cool that you got to do that. And so it's just a way to connect and another way to engage with your audience and build those relationships. So definitely be sure that you're keeping in mind that you're not just telling them about your product or your newest book, but that you're also taking them to other pieces of you, other content, things that they might also be interested in that you don't want to cram all into one newsletter. So number 5. Okay, this one is pretty cool. I see a lot of people in the book world do this, and that is getting your friends to swap newsletters with you. So a lot of times people will have what they call as newsletter builders, and they will swap spots. So say they have a release coming next month and they say, will you talk about my book in your newsletter next month? And then you can sign up for them to share about your book in their newsletter as well. So I have several of these that I do. I do swaps with people, but then also newsletter builders with other like groups of authors. And I just tack that on at the end of my newsletters so that, if it's a freebie or if it's a new release, I'd say, hey, you might also be interested in this. And I do go back and check the analytics, and people do click on those. So they are effective. Plus, you're also getting in front of their newsletter list of people that may not be on yours. So it's a great opportunity to find new readers or new customers. And also, if you have recommendations, this is a great spot to do it. I always have like a book that I read that was super good, that I loved, that I want to share about. So this is a great place for you to put those. And, maybe your friend had a cover reveal that you think is cool. You could put it in there. Just basically anything that, you can work with another person and kind of swap out their material to try to, get your I don't even know what I'm trying to say. I'm an author and I lost the words. But trying to get yourself more out there is what I'm trying to say. So definitely try to do that. Swap with your friends. So that is all 5 tips that I have for you to help, beef up the content of your newsletter. And basically these are like must-have things that you should do if you really want to be successful. And I have no doubt that you guys are going to do that. But I know you're waiting for the super secret tip, and I'm ready to give that to you. So wait just another minute, and here it comes. Finally, we are here with the last tip, the super secret tip that I promised you. And are you ready? That one is that you really need to throw in every now and again some kind of sneak peek, or something that's newsletter subscribers only, early access. This could be like maybe showing the cover reveal of one of your books before you post it on social media. Just something where people feel extra special for being a part of your newsletter. It is highly effective. People will open the newsletter and you'll have great open rates. And then as an example is I had a book that I released straight to my website. It didn't go to Amazon. It didn't anywhere. It was just a surprise release. And I didn't even warn them. I just sent it out in my newsletter, and then boom, they opened my newsletter that said like surprise book release. And so many people flooded to my website that it crashed because they were all so excited to go get it. And stuff like that is just very effective, building hype, getting people excited. And again, like they feel special. So just, you got to think of something that works for you, that's, something exclusive and cool, and your, subscribers will so be there for it. And a bonus tip is that if they respond to your newsletter, reply back. A lot of times I get people that will comment on something in the newsletter or give me tips or advice or, praise for what they thought about it. And that is all very helpful to building your next newsletter and, how you proceed. So I definitely recommend that you reply to those people. And, sometimes it may not be feasible if you're super busy, but, it's not like every single person is replying to your newsletter. So I feel like it's doable. And it does make an impact. So, and that's how you kind of have, like, you get your subscribers for life, because they feel like they, are getting like this cool access to you. So those are the 5 tips to help you have great content for your newsletter, and I really hope it helped. I have some other videos, so make sure that you give it a subscribe and a like, and comment if you have questions. I'm just trying to build my channel so that I can give more tips like this to people and not feel like I'm talking to myself. So eventually, when we have a bazillion subscribers, you guys can be like, I was there early. So anyway, yes, I appreciate it if you will subscribe, like this video, heart it, or whatever they ask you to do, and we'll see you next time. Bye!